Hi, people. Welcome. Okay, today we shall be strong. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Yes, that's perfectly done. Hello, Alyssa. How was the oral exam today? Were you day one or day two, Alyssa? Hello to you. Golden Dragon, welcome everyone. Welcome. Strong people, very strong. I have English prelim tomorrow, so you have to pay more attention. Oh, you're day one. I see. So you got to brief today while all the rest of the P6 students who had to do day two has to struggle today, huh? Hello everyone. Welcome. Welcome. If you are a P6 student, I would like to congratulate you for braving the PS3 oral exams. We are officially done. But of course, we've only finished the oral component. We still have three more papers to go. Yesterday was easier. Do you think so, Alyssa? So, the difficulty level of the topic between day one and day two would perhaps really depend on you, whichever topic you feel like it's easier for you to talk about. That would mean to say you would love to actually, it's easier for you to talk about, what was it yesterday? Family, is it? Family and hobbies and outdoor activities as opposed to the elderly, is it, Alyssa? Easier for you to talk about it, huh? Day one. I thought PSLE would be harder. Hey, Alyssa, give some credits to yourself. It's probably easy. It's because you've done enough revisions such that you don't struggle when you finally do the examination, yeah? So, it's not about really it being easy or hard. It's on you, and for it's on you to congratulate yourself for having done enough revision such that it becomes easy for you. Because it may still be hard to some students, yeah? And I'm happy your day one oral questions were easy for you as well. Hello, Ozil05. Hello. Eh, okay. I wanted to show you the sound effect. Yesterday, I talked about fitness also. Oh, that's perfect. Is it because your personal experience with your family is like, going out, biking, and all such things like that? Mm-hmm. Ozil05, are you P6 also? While you're busy liking the live, you answer me also, huh? Oh, I see. Interesting. Very easy, right, Alyssa? I have something very interesting to share about day one and day two PSLE oral question. Chi was so easy today. Oh, that's nice. Hello, Era or Ira. How do I pronounce your name? Era. If you find it easy, I'm very proud of you. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Congratulations! That means to say, I would trust that you gave very good responses and you were comfortable sharing your responses to your examiner. They asked me so many questions. uh, gee, it was so easy today. Also, Alyssa, so sad. Because I forgot to go back to main point for first question. Alyssa, that means to say you rambled, huh? Because you had so many things to talk about the question, is it? I see. But nonetheless, if you had things to say about the question, no problem. Okay, as long as you managed to share, you tried your best, very good. Okay, I finished my PSLE 3 years ago. Oh, Ozil, so you are a secondary. Kind of went off the topic. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so Alyssa, a few things, and to those of you who have just finished your oral examinations, don't linger on it. Don't linger on it. You can always go back to see what you could have done better, but do not fully linger on it. You have a few more papers to go, Alyssa. Oral is just one component of your entire English subject. Okay, I want to join Compo webinar. Okay, so when are you joining, Alyssa? We're waiting for you. The webinar is set to happen 2 to 6 September. Physical lessons will be 2 to 5th. Webinar will be on the 6th. It will be me doing the webinar, Alyssa. Okay, give me 90%. Ayayo. I give you 90% off. Everyone who joins the webinar will go and chase me to get 90% also. You already get, you already get very high discount from your goodie bag, no? Okay, so think about it, then you join, Okay, so Alyssa and all the rest of you today, you are officially done with your oral examinations. It's high time that you continue your revisions, most specifically for your paper 1, paper 2, and paper 3. Today, I'm gonna help you with your paper 2. Okay. Also, if you're really good enough with your paper 2, the skills will spill over to your paper 1 compositions and situational writing. Yeah, stronger vocabulary, better grammar. You know what I'm saying? Okay, since like April or something, I stay here since the start, you know. Oh my God, Alyssa, we know, okay? You don't need to dump it on me. We know and we are grateful. Now, Alyssa, we shall continue talking about the PSLE Composition Writing Intensive Crash Course later. We're waiting for everyone to come in. We shall start the revision first. Paper 2, Henry Park, 2022 Pieces Prelim paper. Okay, so Alyssa had double focus today. O05, double focus. Continue strengthening your vocab and your grammar skills. Now, let's move on to number 1 and start it very easily. Mrs. Tan gave blank student in her class a reward for winning the Class of the Year award in the kindness campaign. So Mrs. Tan, very nice. She gave reward for everyone in the class. But how do you say that in the correct grammatical sentence, given the sentence here in question 1? So Kara, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Alyssa, all of you says number 2. This is pretty much easy and straightforward. No, if you notice, right, a few things. It says student here. It's singular, correct? Singular. So that means to say, very good. Alyssa equals every student because she cannot be unfair. Very good. So you got the context of the question. It has to be that she has given that reward to everyone, right? And how should we say it in the sentence? So you also see it says student, only it doesn't have S in the end. That means to say, saying many doesn't work and saying even some doesn't work because many and some already said, it already denotes that it's plural, right? Now we're left with much and each, okay? And if you recall, student is what, people? Countable or uncountable? Student is what? Can you count it? Can you not count it? Type C or U for your response, please, so I can see. Student, is it countable or uncountable? Very good, it's countable. We cannot use much then because much is used for uncountable, right? Remember your quantifiers. So very good, very good. I am happy. You are all correct. It's number 2. Good job. Yay, very happy. I put a smiley face here. Good job. Okay, we started very easy. Very easy question. Let's move on to number 2, people. The hikers used a compass to find blank way through the thick jungle to find what? Okay, this one is so easy. Okay, way easier than number 1 even. So drop in your answers, please. I highlight a clue for you, people of the world. It says hikers here. We need a pronoun that represents the hikers as in plural, Plural. Hello, 3 Gabriel. Gabriel says number 4. Kara says 4. 4, 4, 4. Good job, good job, good job. This is plural. And it's is singular for animals and objects. His is for singular also. Her is singular also. So we're left with there. Okay, plural. Good job. So that's number 4. I'm going quite quick for this number. This is pretty easy. Let's move on to number 3. Let's go. Blank are the boys who had bullied me, said Ben, pointing to some boys at the canteen. Okay, canteen. A few things. You have to consider number 1. If it's singular or plural. Number 2, is it near or far? The things that he is pointing at. Okay. So you see how boys, poor Ben, very sad. It's a very sad question because Ben was bullied. So we cannot be happy with this question. So our boys, this is plural. We're referring to many people. We are referring to many people. Plus. Look at it. Pointing to some boys at the canteen. Pointing. Pointing. Those are the boys. Oh, I just said the answer. Okay, I just said the answer. Okay, hopefully no one heard it. People, PUC, hello, welcome to you. Thank you for joining. Hello. Mochi says hi. Okay, now, Moving on to number 3, going back to number 3, can do comprehension today. Comprehension, Alyssa, as in compre close or compre OE? Okay, Amir Matten. Hello, Amir Matten. Amir Matten. Hello, welcome. Now, plural, we're talking about many people. Okay, plural. That means to say, if it's plural, compre only. We shall try, Alyssa, depending on the time that we have, huh? Otherwise, if we don't have enough time today, I'll make sure to show you guys to do a compre with you the next lesson. I failed so many times compre. Okay. If you request for that, then I shall especially prepare for that for you on Friday. Yeah. Okay, people. So now, because this is plural, huh? We're talking about many boys. That means to say we can already cancel what options? We can already cancel this and that. Okay. All right. So we're left with these and those, these and those. Now, if you think about it, okay, 05, I just canceled this, huh? Reconsider your answer before I proceed, huh? Okay, number 4, very good, very good. So, if Ben had to point out, so basically, that basically perhaps means that they're not near him, okay? At the canteen also, so they clarify the area and location. So most likely, if the boys were near, they probably wouldn't have needed to like mention the location where he's pointing at. So they must have been far. Okay, that means to say we are going for number 4. So well done, well done. Just wushu. Alyssa got paper 1 tomorrow. Got paper 1. Oh yeah, Alyssa has a examination tomorrow. Is it paper 1, Alyssa? What was it that she said just now, huh? Alyssa, what are you doing later? Later tomorrow. Pay attention, you know. Yes. Tomorrow paper 1. Okay, I give you some final reminders later, huh? For paper 1, huh? Later, Alyssa, don't go until you hear my final reminders for you for paper 1, okay? Now, moving on to number 4. Let's go. Okay, so that I have time to talk about important paper 1 reminders. Make sure we go through this paper first. Number 4, people. Number 4. Okay. When we arrived, we noticed that everyone blanked anxiously for the famous actress to appear on stage. Okay. Again. Oh, Kiara was quick. That was quick, Kiara. Okay. Do you agree with Kiara and OZ05 who both have the same answers? When we arrive, okay, a few things. What clue do you have? This one. This is past tense, huh? This is past. And we're looking for an option. We are looking for an option that talks about, again, how do we know if it's singular or plural? Very good. Alyssa read my mind. Okay. We are talking about everyone here, and everyone, of course, is an indefinite pronoun. And we need this to be, everyone is always singular. So now we have the tense. Now we have, let me close my, what's up? Makes that ding, like that. now that we have the tense and we have the singular or plural, then we know we have a few options to cancel. Singular, that means we can cancel our waiting and we're waiting because these 2 options are plural, okay? And because we know it's past, we now have answer number 3. Very good. Very good, people. So, moving on. Number 5. Ooh, okay. If conditionals. This one is the easiest out of all the 3 conditional types. If you not blank on time, the plane will take off. Okay, that means the plane will leave. Okay. Quickly, type in your answers. Type in your answers, people. Let's go. Mochi is paying attention to your answers. Waiting. 1. I see 1. I see another one. I see just wushu. Very good. Okay, so we have this. Now, you all got the right answer. Do you know what conditional type is this? Remember, if you see if, right, immediately think of your conditionals. Do you know what type of conditional are we talking about here? You see this one, huh? We'll take off. The second statement is in future tense. Very good. Well done. This is conditional number 1. Conditional 1. And what is the line, Alyssa? Well done. I need a complete line. If I, what? Very good. If I can, I will. Basically, if your if statement is in present tense, your second statement should be in future. So in this case, the answer is, of course, do. This is present tense. And if you use do, does, did, you have to use base form of the following verb, huh? Very good. Conditional number 1, if I can, I will. Amir Mountain, thank you for the gift. Thank you. Okay. Conditional number 2, very quickly, like a broken record, I will repeat it. If I could, that means to say your if statement now bears past tense. Your second statement would then be I would, blah, blah, blah. I would only have. And then conditional type number 3, my favorite, but not the favorite line I want to say, but this one is so easy, that's why. It means conditional 3 is always like a regret, done already, so there's nothing you can do about it anymore. So that's why I tell my students that if I had studied, then you see the if statement bears the past perfect form, had plus past participle. If I had studied, I would have passed, like that. So just basically memorize these 3 sentences. So the moment you know you're dealing with a conditional question, you go back to this. It reminds you of the pattern and the form. Good job, people. Good job. Now, let's move on to number 6. Okay, number 6. The stranger asked Lily if she blanked the way to the nearest shopping mall. Okay, this one very easy. Imagine, I have something for you. Imagine you are doing direct speech to reported speech. And then the stranger say, hello, do you know the way to the nearest shopping mall? How would you report it, huh? Do you know the way to the shopping mall? Then no, right? No, it's in present tense. No becomes what? You move 1 tense backward, right? So no becomes, hello, stage 101. Very good, people. Very good. What was the third conditional? Okay, H. Hello, H. I go back to you, huh? The third conditional is always used in a form of regret because things already happened. So that's why the if statement will always have had plus past participle. And then the next statement would have the form would have past participle. Okay? So if I had known, I would have called her. Or if I had seen the news, I would have cried. Right? So statements that are regrets, things that already happened, there's nothing you can do about it anymore. So you can only wish. Yeah? Conditional number 2 would be past tense. So you use would here. Conditional number 1, present tense, you use future here. Okay? Is that good, H? Okay. Going back to number 6, you all said new. So this is reporting a question. Reporting a question. So just imagine the stranger did a direct speech. Do you know? And then if you convert that to reported speech, you move 1 tense backward. That's present to past. Therefore, you answer that is number 1 is correct, people of the world. Well done. Oh, I forgot to use my bell. Let's use the bell. Very good. Okay, number 7, ladies and gentlemen. While mother blank in her room, we slipped quietly to the kitchen to have some snacks. You are very easy. This one very easy, huh? Because it has the word while. And while tells you that the action is, Stitch 101 says number 2. Alyssa says number 3. Now we have 2 different answers. Then you see how this one is past tense, huh? Past tense. This is past. And then this one tells you there is an ongoing action. Well, a past action was happening, people. Think about it. If you want to reconsider, you let me know. Because I'm giving you 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. I see. With confidence, Alyssa is saying she wants to answer number 3. Okay. Good job. Good job. Okay. So first things first, it should be number 3. First, you know that it's past tense here. So it's an action that happened in the past. And then we have another ongoing action while that past action is happening. So it should be was sleeping, which is the past continuous, yeah? Past continuous. Okay, well done. That's number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Good job. Now, let's move on to number 8. Let's change the color to blue. He blank be at the office by now, but he's not at his workstation. He blank be at the office by now, but he is not at his workstation. There is a word here that tells you that it was his obligation to be at his workstation by then, but then he wasn't there. Number 4, I see that was quick of you people to say. You very confident, huh? 100%, just Wushu said. Okay, you are very good. You are correct. Should. He should be at the office by now. Why? Do keep in mind you use should for when you want to express, You want to express obligation. Obligation or expectations as well. So he is expected to be there, but then he wasn't there. Okay, you know that will is for future action. For future action or certainty. Apologies for my handwriting. Could is for possibility, but that is not the context that we are looking for here. Might also goes for possibility. So the best answer is number 4. Next one. Oh yeah, Alyssa, I'm not even there yet. Okay, number 9. Let's go, people. Most animals will not attack blank. They are provoked. So we're looking for the word here. What conjunction usually you use when a situation happens only if a specific condition is met? So the situation wherein the animals will attack happens only when there is one condition that's met, which is provoking them. So that is, hello, Mama! Yay, Mama is here! Okay, now we have more people inside. Stitch number 33333. You are all in consensus. You are all correct. That's number 3. Remember, you use unless for when you want to talk about a situation that happens when one condition is met. Okay, number 10. Let's end strong, ladies and gentlemen. Good job. That was quick and easy, and I'm happy you managed to give me most of the correct answers. Now, just keep blank it, and you will find it easier solving these types of questions after a while. So we are actually talking about an idiom here. Just blank it. So this is an idiom that you want to say. You sure are, people? Wow, this is hard. Try. Let's say if it's hard, just try. This is an idiom when you want to kind of like encourage someone to continue working on something despite the difficulties that they are facing. Okay, you want to encourage them, just continue. What's another way to say it using this idiom? Just one. So I have Kara who said number 1. So you want to say it, just keep at it. And then we have another one, just keep on it. I see. And another one, okay. Nonetheless, if you're not sure, no problem. This is a safe space for you to give you answers, whether they're correct, wrong, or unsure. Okay? We are here to learn. Okay, now let's give it a try. What is the actual idiom? It's actually just keep at it. That's number 1. Oh, now for those of you who has heard this for the first time, hello nomad, welcome to you. For those of you hearing this for the first time, you may write down the meaning of this idiom. When you get someone or you say keep at it, just keep at it. And you know when you say that, now you can use this line to encourage your friends or your family or whoever it is important in your life. Now don't worry, just keep at it. Eventually you will make progress like that. So keep at it. So meaning to persist. Okay, persist, keep going. Persist, keep going. Yeah. Okay, now we know. All right. You see? Oh, very nice, David. Thank you. Keep at it, everyone. Continue giving you answers. Persist. Let's move on to... Very good. At least you learned something new today. Let's move on to vocab. We're there anyway. At some point, you learned an idiomatic expression. So, Jennifer Justin, hello to you. Hello, welcome. Please remember to follow us if you haven't yet so you get notified for our future live sessions. Okay, and share the live to your friends if you want to learn together, especially at this moment. Love part 1 of vocab, hate part 2. But it depends now, Alyssa, on what words they're sharing with you. Part 2 is kind of helpful such that it's used in a passage. So at least context-wise, it's easier, I would say. But it depends. At the end of the day, it will depend. Okay, okay. Now, people. Now, let's move on to a number 11. Number 11. Now, we are now in the vocabulary section. You gotta be strong. You gotta be strong. Give it a try, even if you're unfamiliar with some of the terms, people. Okay, let's start. Parents were discussing their child's results with the teacher when the fire alarm. When the fire alarm rang and interrupted their blank. Okay, there's something very funny at the side that I want to. Cancel. Good thing you guys didn't see it. You all say it's number 4. What if they're fighting, huh? Now, they were discussing, right? The word, your keyword is discussing, huh? There was no, not discussing. Into is only teacher talking. Okay, very good. So Alyssa now is trying to explain the meanings of each word. So these 4 words, be careful, huh? This is the challenge for vocabulary sections. The options they give you are options kind of like the words who are from the same family, in some sense. Like they almost refer to almost the same action, but in a different manner. Okay, so let's talk about it. When you're debating, what exactly does it mean? It's a formal and very structured discussion. It's a discussion nonetheless, often with opposing viewpoints. So it's still a discussion. But debates talk about opposing viewpoints. Viewpoints. I stand this, your stand is this. Let's talk about how we can support our opposing stance, right? That's debate. Okay. Now, speech is when you provide a formal address or talk delivered to an audience. So there's not really back and forth. It's just you talking, yeah? Formal talk, or talk to an audience. Okay, so it doesn't really talk about a back and forth. So it is not the right word. Argument, they could be arguing, but they use the word discussing in number 11. Therefore, there is no hint, or contextually, there's no hint of them kind of like disagreeing on something. It's not a heated discussion. Otherwise, if they say heated discussion, then we can use arguing, right? So it's heated, heated, or contentious, huh? Contentious exchange. But there is contextually, it's not what they're trying to say. Therefore, you are left with conversation. Good job. Number 4. Well done, people. Well done. Mochi is proud. Now, number 12. She cannot resist ice cream and cakes because she has a blank. Oh, very easy, because some of you might be like this. So you may have been using this term already. H, that was quick. H was very quick. Number 1, you sweet tooth. Let's see, SK also 1000%. Huh? Let's see, SK. Me last time. Kara also won. Are you very confident because you also have a sweet tooth, huh? People, you admit. Do you have sweet tooth? Where Teacher Jamie? Hello, Teacher Jamie's. We'll be back on. Today is what day? Wednesday. Oh, that means Teacher Jamie's will be back on Monday. Okay. So if you miss her, catch her live on Mondays and Tuesdays. Okay. Now, sweet tooth. So now you have here a set of idiomatic expressions one more time. So we have to learn them. Next time you encounter them, you know how to deal with them. So of course, someone who I'm her favorite student. Okay, I shall screenshot this and show this to Teacher Jamie's, huh? So I show Teacher Jamie's and tell her, Teacher Jamie, someone typed here that she's your favorite student. Sure, what paper is this? This is Henry Park P6 Prelims 2022, paper 2. Okay. Now, I shall tell Teacher Jamie's that you're her favorite student, huh? You wait. Now, sweet tooth, of course, is someone who loves to eat, who craves for sweet foods. Okay, someone who loves sweet food. Therefore, obviously, in the question, talks about ice cream and cakes, and it says she cannot resist, she cannot stop herself from eating this. Therefore, the answer is a number 1. Very good. Now, You no one watch N level, you know. Elisa. Okay, okay. It's actually good if there are specific papers that you want us to go through or levels that you want us to go through. DM us so I can discuss it with teacher Jamie Stan. We can put it into our schedule. Okay, okay. Now, pinch of salt. I like this line, people. I like this line. Let's just say, people. I go and say, okay, you uh, whatever she tells you, take it with a pinch of salt. What does it mean? But don't mind, don't. You have to believe what I say. But her, I go and say, your friend, whatever she tells you, take it with a pinch of salt. She already lied to you before, okay? Let's say I go and say, that friend already lied to you quite a few times before. So the next time she tells you something, take it with a pinch of salt. Take it, so Lizzie SK saying, take it as nothing, take it lightly. Okay, you are understanding the context very close to it. Small amount of something. It's metaphorically always used to suggest that skepticism or caution, okay? Don't take it wholesale. That means to say, take it with a bit of skepticism or caution, okay? Take it suggests, metaphorically, it suggests skepticism. Skepticism or caution. Take it with a bit of caution. Don't believe it fully. Very good. Ozil05. That's the word we're looking for. Caution. Yeah, take it with skepticism and caution. Maybe you want to double check it somewhere else. Find another source of the truth. Okay, that's what it means to say take it with a pinch of salt. Okay, now finger in a pie. In the finger in the pie, that basically means, okay, if you see, I just imagine the idiom, finger in the pie, like that. That basically means you're involved in something now. Involved in something. In something. So if I go and say, for example, he had his finger in the pie when it came to planning the company's event. Okay, and so he's very busy. So if he has a finger in the pie, that means to say he take part in planning the event now. You're involved in it. Oh, this one is easy. Perhaps you would know the meaning. A hard nut to crack. I eat dinner first. Bye. Bye, Wushu. Please come back after dinner. But don't rush eating, Chew your food properly. Okay. Tough. Okay, Ozil. We see the word hard nut to crack, right? You're trying to crack something but it doesn't crack. Okay. So basically that is correct. You describe a person, you could use it to describe a person or a problem that is very difficult to understand or solve. Okay. Difficult person or problem. Difficult to understand or solve. Okay, very good. Now you have more idioms in your vocabulary bank. Okay, number 13, people, number 13. Let's go. I have been studying for the past 4 hours without a break, and I'm about to collapse with what? Very tired. We're looking for the word that talks about extreme exhaustion, people. Extreme exhaustion. Now you have regret, fatigue, boredom, anticipation. Oh, Ozil05, that was quick. Okay. Hello, Irmasha, welcome. Alyssa also says number 2. Okay, extreme for the past 4 hours, Wow. You study like this, people. You study like this. You study this 4 hours. This is extremely exhausting. My goodness. 4 hours straight non-stop. My God. Okay. Now we are looking for the word that's very close to exhaustion, and you all think it's number 2. That's correct. Well done. So fatigue is extreme. Extreme exhaustion. Okay. Of course, after studying for 4 hours, no break, you cannot be bored, You can be bored though studying, but you have to think about it. Which do you feel more, the exhaustion or the boredom? It would be the exhaustion if you studied really intensely for 4 hours or for 4 hours straight. I studied 6 hours during exam season. Wow, Ozil, every day, Remember to take a few breaks in between so you don't exhaust your brain, or make sure you eat something to fill you up with energy. Yeah. Anticipation, of course, cannot, because anticipation talks about your excitement and you're looking forward to something. Okay. After studying for 4 hours straight, you can be looking forward to something. You look forward to you look forward to rest or whatever, but still it's the exhaustion that will be highlighted and prominently felt after that long hours of studying. Okay, moving on to number 14, ladies and gentlemen. Cover, 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 cover. Now, they blank in jail after being caught for shoplifting. Oh my God. Do not do it. Now, though they were caught shoplifting, so, are you, Alyssa, are you P6? Yes, she is. She is. Stitch 101, Ozil 05, number 1, landed up in jail. You sure, huh? You have full phrasal verbs here. Do you know the meaning of the rest of the phrasal verbs? Ozil says number 1, Stitch also 1. Emma, you still there, Emma? What is your answer, Emma, if you have it? People, those were new, welcome. Remember to follow us if you haven't yet. Now, um, brought up a topic in convo. Oh, I see, I see. MMR also. Okay, hello. All right, very good, very good, very good. It's number 1. Okay. So basically, if you land up in something, that means you end up in a particular place. Okay, end up in a particular place or situation. So basically, for the shoplifters, they ended up or they landed up in jail. Okay, handed up. What about handed up homework? You hand up your homework, okay, to give it. Okay, it could be that you submitted something. Okay, you submitted, like you hand up your homework, or you actually give an official decision. Give an official decision. Washed up, pretty much easy. You wash up something. You wash up something. That means to say you clean your hands before eating your meal. The other meaning would be you get washed up on the shore. So from the ocean, you were brought somewhere else. Okay, you washed up. Okay, brought up a topic. It means to say you raise. You raise someone. Okay, your parents brought you up, huh, people? Okay. Your parents brought you up, so they raised you, okay? Or what Alyssa said, you introduce a topic. Introduce a topic. Okay, okay, okay. So that's one more important thing about practicing your vocab constantly, using practices like this. It's because it not only exposes you to new words and phrases that are new, but also helps you to continue learning all the other meanings of some words and phrases. So one word could have many different meanings, and so that's another way for you to continue growing your vocabulary. Yeah. Okay, number 15, let's end strong for this portion. The chef spent a lot of time creating and perfecting his truly Singaporean dish. He wanted to blank the distinguished guests from all over the world. Okay, he wants them to feel, he wants to feel admiration and respect. Okay, a positive. He wants like a positive reaction from them. Trying not to say the correct answer. Ozil number 2, H number 2, Alyssa number 2. Hello, Kai. Hello. Yay! Mochi is happy. Kai is here. Kai is here. Ronnie is also awake. Hello, hello. Ronnie says hi. Hello. Okay, now everyone, all of you are saying number 2. What does 3 mean? Okay, no worries. I'll let you know what 3 means. But looking at you, and yeah, I'm happy too. Okay, you're happy, we happy, we're all happy. Okay, now let's talk about, okay, obviously the chef who was trying his best to make a good dish wants to get a positive reaction from the distinguished guests, right? So what's the right word for it? If you want to soothe someone, like soothe, you want to calm them, okay? You want to calm or relieve them of their feelings. Okay, they're not angry, so there's no need to soothe them, okay? So soothe cannot be, okay? Now let's move on to impress, okay? Impress is to make someone feel admiration or respect, right? Impress them, okay? Admiration. Make someone feel admiration or respect. Okay, or like positive, not positive reaction. Now, if you want to ascertain someone, okay, ascertain, from the word certain, Alyssa, if you want to ascertain someone, or you want to ascertain most likely something, right? You want to find out or you want to determine. Okay, if you want to ascertain, to find out, or determine something. So if I use it in a sentence, for example, let's say you become a secondary student, right? And you now face paper 1. Then they gave you 4 essay questions. Now, if you want to ascertain what essay question is that, you have to break down the question. So that means to say, if you want to ascertain, that means you want to find out. It's basically it, Alyssa. To ascertain, it means you want to find out. Okay? Now, reassure someone. Reassure, that means to say, you make them feel less worried because they're already worried. So the thing about soothe and reassure is that there is an assumption that they are not feeling very good, right? So you want to reassure them so that they don't feel worried. And for soothe, you want to calm them because they're probably anxious. But that's not the case for the question. They're okay. The chef just really wants them to feel admiration and respect for him. Yeah. And for that matter, we need to really then answer number 2. Okay, that's number 2. Impress. Okay, good job. We have officially finished this section of the paper, but we are not done yet, of course. Okay, since we are in the middle of this, let me just quickly give you guys some announcements. Yay, time for a few announcements. Okay, so I would like to share with you all the revision is not done yet, even for P6 students. So do remember that we have a PSLE composition writing intensive crash course coming up this September. This may be the last piece of the puzzle that you need to make you fully 100% ready for the upcoming paper 1 for PSLE. Yeah, so please join us. The first 8 on-site schedule that we have released is already sold out, but we have recently added 6 more. However, seats are filling up fast, so do WhatsApp us, visit our website to check if we still have seats for you. Nonetheless, if it's not convenient for you to travel, you want to stay at home and still continue to revise, you can always join our webinar. Okay, there's an online version on the 6th of September, and it will be by yours truly. I will be the one doing the webinar for you. So, do you teach the in real life one? Yes, I teach one of them, Alyssa. I think I do the one, if I don't know if I remember it correctly, but I know I have one on-site lesson, which is going to be, I forgot, Alyssa. I tell you guys which one. But I think it's Wednesday, the one that is in Central Plaza. Okay. However, because I don't remember it, you give us a call or WhatsApp us. You ask which day and schedule is my on-site lesson. Then they can confirm with you lah. Nonetheless, you can always join the webinar. Okay. I shall be waiting for all of you to do the PSLE intensive crash course. Yay! And of course, we have something also for our non-P6 students, September holiday program, P1 to actually P6. So those of you, teacher, I am very confident with my composition. I want to focus on my paper 2 for PSLE. We also have paper 2 for you. Join our September holiday program. Oral for P3 and 4 because your end of year examinations is still coming up. Okay, so we have for every level for primary school. So come and join us September holiday program. And of course, our crash course to prepare you for your composition writing. Okay? Okay. Now, let's move on to a quick fire round of editing. Why am I doing my own sound effects? Okay, now, let's talk about this Japanese adventurer who's very resilient, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot believe how resilient he is, I tell you. Such an interesting passage this is. Okay, now 12 marks, 6 grammar errors, 6 spelling errors. Okay, for this year. Of course, next year is going to be different already. Yeah, but very quick, this people. I shall highlight the lines that I've already read. Let's go. Mr. Yuichiro Miura is a Japanese adventurer. At the age of 80, he succeeded in reaching the summit of Mount Everest. How to spell summit, ladies and gentlemen? You all sure of your spelling, huh? Who else can spell summit correctly for me, people? This is a spelling error, obviously. Okay, Kara, I see. So you all assume that it's double M, is it? Summit. Then I would say that you are all correct. Very good. 2M. Well done, well done, well done. Okay, for the third time, huh? Can you believe it? He reached the summit not just once, not just twice, but 3 times. Wow. Okay. 80. I'm telling you. 80 years old, going to the summit of Mount Everest. What are we doing with our lives, people? Now, for the third time, making him the world's oldest person to do so. Wow, I'm very much impressed. Yeah, his journey to that peak is marked by a series of unprecedented hardships. Okay, now, the journey was done. Okay, it's done. So therefore, this is a grammatical error. We have to correct this. Is becomes well done. It's was marked by a series of unprecedented hardships. That means to say, I can tell you, listen, huh? It's already very amazing, huh? It's already very amazing to know that he was 80 years old when he reached the summit of Mount Everest for the third time. But let me tell you this: there's something even more amazing. A lot of things happened to him before he did his last summit. Let's discover what these things are. Okay, moving on, let's go. After climbing Mount Everest for the second time, okay, at the age of 75, he decided he will make a third attempt. Okay, now people, what will is obviously spelled correctly. This is a grammatical error. We need the past tense version of will, which is Susie. Hello, Susie. Welcome to you. Okay, Ozil. Very good. The past tense would be would. He decided he would make a third attempt at the age of 80. Okay. However, the following year he landed hard in an awkward angle after a ski jump and broke 5 bones. Okay. So he broke 5 bones, including his thigh bone or pelvis. This is not the correct word. It's because we are talking about 2 different things, okay? And both of them, 2 different bones that Mr. Yuichiro broke. So, or you use it for when only one of the 2. But there's another word that you use for when you want to include both, which is very good, very good, very good. And okay, that means both of them. You know the difference, huh? If I say bring apples and oranges, that means to say I want you to bring both. But if I say bring apples or oranges, that means to say you can choose which one you want to bring. All right. Now, doctors told him that he would have to be confined to a wheelchair. Okay. Now, this is spelled correctly, and you have the word be here. The word be is always followed by what form of the verb, people? Okay. Okay, you have to be what? You have to be seen. You have to be taking. Okay, so it has either past participle or your present participle, which is your ing. And for this case, it would have to be very good. Add the letter D. Confine. Well done, people. Now, still, let's continue. Still, Mr. Miura's determination wasn't wavering. Okay, he already broke 5 bones. And 75 years old already. I will definitely recover. Okay, wrong spelling, commonly misspelled word. How to spell definitely? I need more words here. Type, 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 type. Give it a try. I'm not going to pounce on you if you give me the wrong spelling. Okay. D-E. All of you seems to be spelling it the same way. F-I-N-I-T-E-L-E. Well done. Very good. So definitely the A here is incorrect. It has to be I. Very good. Now, I am going to heal and climb. Wow. What a resilient man and very strong-willed. With this resolve in mind, he followed a daily rehabilitation regime closely, and after 3 years, he fully recovered. Wow, wow, what an amazing man. How to spell rehabilitation? So rehabilitation, that means to say, um, someone who's been ill or who's been addicted to something has recovered from it now. Okay, by going through a process, of course. You return to a healthy or a good way of life. Okay, after a process of helping someone to do this after they have been in prison or they've been very ill. Okay, so rehabilitation. Let me see your spelling first. Okay, do not double. Okay, rehabilitation. Good job. Well done. He had completely overcome a situation who was considered irreversible. So who you use to talk about a person, right? But we're not talking about person here. We're talking about a situation. So you replace it with very good. Which? Wow, very good job. Now we're not done yet. We're not done yet, people. Let's go. However, Mr. Miura was again beset with difficulties. Spell difficulties for me, please. This is a spelling error. Type it in very quickly. This should be easy for you. Use this word every single day of your life, okay? Because life is difficult. Okay, difficulties. I see Alyssa. Thank you. Anyone else? Type it. Difficulties. Also, it's a spelling error. Again, one more time for editing. If the wrong spelling is plural, keep it plural. Don't change it, Later you spell it correctly, but because you change it to singular plural, then you didn't get the mark at all. Okay. Difficulties. Very good. D-I and then, of course, double F. Yeah, do keep that in mind. And then the plural, of course, is T-I-E-S. Okay. With only 4 months left after he departed for Mount Everest, is it after? People, we're still in 48, You all saying should be before, is it? Before and after, very good. With only 4 months before he departed for Mount Everest, a chronic illness, arrhythmia, not even done yet, People, he broke 5 bones, went through rehabilitation for 3 years, but then before his next hike, he had arrhythmia. Arrhythmia recurred. That means it came back. Okay? How do you say recurred? Wrong spelling. This is a spelling error, How to spell it? Okay, we need to double the second. Good job. That means to say we need to double the second R. Okay. Well done. Forcing him to undergo 2 operations. Wow. Can you believe this man? 5 broken bones, 3 years of rehabilitation. 4 months before his hike, he had his arrhythmia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Recurred. So he had to go through 2 operations. It was considered impossible for him to climb. He set off for the Himalayas without changing his plans. He went through it, people. It was a decision that surprised everyone. Aha, people. Now, it's a commonly misspelled word, and students always misspell it this way. They forget one letter, which is what letter, people of the world? What letter is forgotten? Which is what? Hello, boss baby. Welcome to you. Very good, Ozil. Yes. Students always forget the letter R here. Surprised. Let me go back to red. So do be mindful of it, okay? Misspelled not only in paper too, but also when you use this word in composition. Be careful. When he finally reached the peak of Mount Everest, he felt a surging sense of accomplishment, Of course, of course, of course. After that long struggle and hurdles before his final hike, we are proud of Mr. Yuichiro. Yay! Yeah. Very good, people. Very good. Now, moving on to one of your favorite parts of paper two, ladies and gentlemen. We shall move on to this compre close passage, which is about what? Okay, you already see the word mosquitoes. Wolbachia, Aedes, mosquitoes. That means to say, what's the big topic? What's the big topic? That means to say, okay, people, before I start with you, are you all very excited, huh? You have to understand. There's one of those moments when you have to read it very quickly to understand what it is about, because this is not just about dengue. It's about one specific way of fighting dengue. Okay? Now, what do you think? Okay, let me see if you've heard about this before we talk about it, because later you start reading and then you start getting very confused with what they're talking about. So there's a couple of things the government does to actually fight dengue, right? You may have heard about all the ways that you can do. There is, however, using the other dengue that is bred, that different breed. Very good, very good. What about it, Alyssa? Okay, so there's one very specific way that government and Singapore government also specifically do use the other breed. Why? What does the other breed do when they mate with this female mosquito that brings dengue? You have any idea? I'm happy that you do have a certain level of idea on what this is about. But because you have that idea, it will definitely help you contextually with what this passage is talking about. Yeah? We're getting there. Good job. Cannot lay eggs. Whoa! Very proud, very proud. You are correct, Paige. So that's basically what we're going to talk about in this passage. Okay, you all ready, huh? Let's go. Now, the National Environment Agency has found a unique way of fighting dengue in Singapore. About 200 million Wolbachia Aedes mosquitoes black bin bred at NEA's mosquito factory. Wow, they have a factory of mosquitoes. Okay, it pairs with the word bin. Of course, you have all typed it in just now. Why not has, people? Why not has? Talking about many of them. There's many. Okay, must be have. Okay, now, since it was blank in 2019, very good, Alyssa, 200 million of them. That's definitely very plural. Okay, now, since it was we're referring to the mosquito factory, it was blank in 2019, therefore it was what are we saying here? Very easy, letter O. Since you don't release a factory, people. What do you do with a factory? You launch a campaign, you launch a product, right? Okay. You release also a product, a new line, but you're talking about a mosquito factory here, people. Kara, very good. Open in 2019. Good job. These mosquitoes were then blank in certain areas of the island. They were blank in certain areas of the island. What happened? What did they do with these mosquitoes that they bred inside the mosquito factory? So they bred these mosquitoes in one factory, and then when they had a lot of these mosquitoes, what did they do with these mosquitoes? The Wolbachia Aedes mosquito, they to the world. Very good, very good. They released it. Okay. But because it's trial, and of course they're trying it out, they release it to only certain areas first to see how it's going to work. Okay, let's move on. Now, this is part of the agency's fight against dengue in the Republic. Blank, there's a comma here. It will be sometime before Project Wolbachia expands to other parts of the island. Okay, it's a conjunction, combines two complete sentences that are opposing. Very good, very good. That was quick. It's how ever. Okay, it will be some time before Project Wolbachia expands to other parts of the island, as time is needed to improve the method of releasing these mosquitoes on the island. Okay, the agency also needs blank develop the relevant technology. Alyssa was quick. Ozil agrees to it. Anyone else who wants to give a different answer or still agree to the already given ones? Think. I see. You're all correct. Needs to. Very good. Okay. So slowly but surely they're doing the project. Okay. Now Mr. Deng, in his weekly update to the press, said that blank 1.5 to 2 million of these mosquitoes are released every week. Wow. Okay. Nabil also gave his answer very good. About, okay, I'm gonna give you a few more seconds to give buffer time for the delay. Okay, Nabil says okay, read the entire sentence. About who else? Think. 1.5 to 2 million. Okay, about there. Okay, it's an estimate. So the word, no wonder I keep getting mosquito bite. Okay, very good. About 1.5 to 2 million of these mosquitoes are reason part of the project Wolbachia. Okay, now this project blank releasing male Wolbachia Aedes mosquitoes to control the overall Aedes mosquito population. Okay, what we are talking about, explaining what the project is. Okay, how do you explain it? So then I say, right, this project is releasing male Wolbachia Aedes mosquitoes to control the overall Aedes. There is a more appropriate word though that also starts with I. Okay, we use this word to introduce, okay, the whole process, the general process involving the project. Okay, you are close, Woyam, but not really. Oh, very good. Very good. Okay, now this project involved releasing male Wolbachia Aedes mosquitoes to control the overall Aedes mosquito population, which blank the primary cause. Okay, now this one, we are talking about this. We're talking about this. Okay. Singular, plural. 5 more seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, the question is whether to use is or was, right? Okay, so at the moment, the Aedes mosquito population or the Aedes mosquito is still the primary cause of dengue. So because it's a truth and it's still true until now, we use the present tense is. Okay. Now, moving on. The male Wolbachia Aedes mosquitoes do not blank a dangerous disease. Do not what? So the Aedes mosquito do it, but the male ones do not. What's the word? They do not bite, do not spread. Okay, firstly, let's consider your words. I'm gonna consider your words. So firstly, the one that you say is they do not bite the dangerous disease. That's not the right word because you don't bite a disease. Yeah, if you want to use the word bite, that basically means they don't bite human beings. They don't bite the flesh, right? Okay, so we're talking about what the Aedes female does and what the male doesn't. Okay, so the most appropriate word is actually carry. They do not carry the dangerous disease. Okay, when they blank with female aid. Oh, here you go, people. Here's the interesting part. Listen. When they blank with female Aedes mosquitoes, okay, the eggs that have been laid do not blank. One sentence again. So when they blank with a female, the eggs that have been laid do not blank. Okay, first let's start with this one. What do they do with a female? They, very good, Ozil 05, they mate. Good job. And when they mate, they do not hatch, which is a good news. Because if they don't hatch, then there's no dengue, no more of them, right? Yeah. Now, this entire process will eventually reduce This entire process will eventually reduce the number of Aedes mosquitoes here in Singapore. Okay. Since the project was launched in 2016, it has gone blank 5 stages of field studies with mosquitoes being released in more areas around the island. He has gone. This is a phrasal verb that pairs with the word gone. Gone what? That means to say it's a phrasal verb that means it had undergone or it went. I'm trying to find a different word that doesn't reveal the answer, but you got it correctly. It has gone through. Good job. 5 stages of field studies. So let's see, people. In an interview, Mr. Deng was asked why dengue has not yet blank eradicated. Okay. Has not yet what? Check your word has. Okay. You need the past participle of your be verb is, are, was, were, which should be what? Very weird his name, Mr. Deng, trying to prevent spreading of dengue. What is that? That was very funny. Ay, ay, oh. You're very witty, huh? I hope you bring that wit to your PSLE, huh? Okay. Has not yet been very good. Eradicated from the shores of Singapore. Despite the blank of project will back, yeah. Okay, now the answer for this number has been mentioned earlier. Think, think, think. Think carefully. The answer for 64 you've mentioned earlier. It was previously mentioned by someone, but for a different number. What happens when you start a project? When you begin a project? Very good, very good, very good. The word is launch. Since the launch of project will back you, Mr. Deng said. Now every time I see the name, it sounds very funny. Although we have very good mosquito population suppression and dengue suppression techniques, we're only covering a limited area. For greater impact, we need more resources in blank to scale up the population. This is a collocation that goes with in blank too. This one goes together. Together. In blank too. Do you guys agree with what Alyssa said? Kara agrees. Also 5 agrees. Very good. Anyone else who okay, Susie also agrees. In order to scale out the population of the Wolbachia mosquitoes and release more of them on the island. But this is not an easy task, he added. Okay, very good. We are done. Yay! Yeah. Good job. Oh, Sherman's tea is here and he gave us a gift. Yay! Thank you. Ronnie and Mochi are both very grateful to you. Thank you. Now, let's move on very quickly. Okay, it's time. Okay. What I am going to do now is, who among you, huh? Okay, Alyssa, you're getting your paper 1 tomorrow. And then some of you are already revising for end of year examinations also. So let's talk about some tips and tricks on how to deal with your examination. Maybe let's talk about SOP. Oh, another gift. Thank you. Okay. Now, I am going to talk about this time. Okay, so those of you who are doing paper 1, okay, since we are basically done with oral, let me talk about, hold on, huh? Let me see. Note, okay. We are done with oral. I'm going to give you give me some notes. I can give you some tips now, Alyssa, and to those of you who are in primary school, but what I am going to discuss now would still be relevant to you if you're secondary, so at least you understand the underlying importance of learning how to properly unpack your compo question or your essay question. Unpack your compo, okay, question. Okay. A few things that I need you to remember, Alyssa, and to the rest of you. When you're given a composition question, you have to make sure that you understand immediately what it requires. Because the last thing you want to happen is that you write a very beautifully written composition, but it doesn't answer the composition question. So no matter how beautiful the phrases are, no matter how rich the vocabulary is, you still get marked down for content marks because it does not talk about the compo question that they gave you. So let's talk about the ways that you can effectively and wisely unpack your question. Okay. So let's say, for example, I'll go through a few sample questions with you. Okay. Let's start with this one. Okay. Let's say it's competition. Okay. It's a competition. Now, what are the things that you can derive from this question? It says the word ah. Therefore, how many competitions you should be focusing on in your composition? Okay. How many competitions are you focusing? Should be how many? People. Chloe just joined one. Very good. Now, some of you might say, teacher, that's very simple. I know that. But sometimes, right, when you don't fully put a time for unpacking, I can tell you, I've still had so many students, some of them still forgets, especially when it says a bad habit. There's so many bad habits that are being talked about in the composition. Or uh, an encouragement. So many encouragement when you could have just focused on one, right? So be very careful with this. Focus on one because it says ah. And then of course, okay, teacher competition. I know there has to be there has to be people competing. I need to decide what competition. But another thing I would like you to talk about is the competition. It would then include you the before, the during, and the after. So you see the full scale of the competition during your compo. That means to say it would be good that your first paragraph, you don't start with the competition immediately. And then paragraph one, suddenly he started running in full speed. Cannot, right? Maybe you can start your first paragraph with your preparations before it, feelings of anxiety and all these things, right? And then you start the competition perhaps in your paragraph 2 or 3. And then moving on to the climax would be what happened in the middle of the competition, the difficulties that your character had to face. Okay, so that's number one. Okay, but this one is very easy because this is when you are given a noun QSP. However, what if they go and say, okay, number 2, listen carefully, being a good friend. Keywords. What does being tell you about the compo question that you have to make sure must be done and written in your compo? What does being, especially when you see ing as in verbs in your question? Okay, so one thing I always tell my students, when you're dealing with verbs, that means to say, let's say, what are the examples I can give you? Making a decision, trying your best, okay, being a good friend, doing a difficult task, okay. So doing, trying, making, okay. When you have verbs, that means to say you have to make sure that who should be doing the action, okay. Who? Main character must do the action. Otherwise, if it's a secondary character doing the action, you wouldn't have a lot of opportunities to talk about it in your composition. You are basically writing off the topic. But if you make sure that it's your main character doing the action, essentially what will happen is the entire composition will be about it. Okay? So be mindful of that when you have ing in your story. Okay? And so, of course, being a good friend, that entails what are the, you start thinking about all the other things. What does it mean to be a good friend? So, I can start thinking about I have to be a loyal friend, I have to be helpful to my friend, Maybe I can be honest to my friend because that's what it means to be a good one. Okay. Do the composition need conflict? If by conflict you mean a problem, okay, here's the thing, huh? That's a good question, Manfred Steve. So, most of the compositions you've probably written have problems in it, right? So, it's easy because then it brings you up the curve, right? So, you start, there's a problem, and then your main character reacts to the problem, and so the problem is solved. So, that's basically what a lot of your composition is. Now, teacher, can I choose to have a composition that does not have a problem? Yes, you can. What do I mean by that? Let's just say your composition question is a celebration. Teacher, I really want to focus on the celebration. I don't want to put a problem in it. Yes, but here's one thing you should always remember. When you don't have a problem or a conflict, you have to make sure that your vocabulary is rich enough to make them feel the celebration, okay? You have to have very good descriptions such that even without a conflict inside, you're still able to write the whole thing from beginning to end. Okay? Mm-hmm. So do keep that in mind. So first type of compo question is be mindful of and to know how many of what thing should you be writing about. Next, be mindful of verbs to make sure that if there is an action they want you to talk about, it's done by the main character. Okay? The third thing I want you to think about is, okay, be careful of landmines. Oh, teacher, what's landmine? I call these landmines, okay? Okay, now, landmines, what I mean by this is when they give you this compo question. Let's say, for example, they say, a time when you felt embarrassed. The moment you see this question, okay, of course, main character, there has to be something embarrassing that happened, okay? But there is one word there that tells you what point of view you should be writing your composition in. What word? What's the landmine here that you should be mindful of? What do you think? Very good. What about you, Alyssa? When you see the word you, that means to say it has to be written in first person, which means to say your main character should be I. Very good. So if you see landmines are you, yourself, okay? When you see this, the point of view should be in I. Now let's talk about point of views. Teacher, what is your suggestion? Should we write in third person? Third person, people, is when your main character, you name them now. It means you yourself as a person writing is kind of like a witness. Okay, let's say John, Annie, teacher, can I name my characters? Or what do you think? Is it first person? Is it safer to use I'm the main character? So listen carefully, here's my advice. Some of you may notice that some of you have an issue with sometimes you write in third person. My main character is John, 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 John. And somehow in the middle of my composition, I transition to first person. Suddenly it becomes I. Some students have that issue. They third person and then they transition to first person somehow along the composition. Now, if you have that tendency, then go for first person. Okay? My only suggestion is there are some situations that are best written in first person. So, for example, if your story involves someone, your main character losing consciousness, for example, because you're writing about an accident, of course, if your main character loses consciousness, it's not good to write in first person now because you cannot explain what happening because you lost consciousness. What? Yeah. So, if your story involves someone losing consciousness as a main character, it's better to write it in third person. Okay. Otherwise, if you're not writing that kind, then write in first person. Yeah. So just to be safe. But good news. Problems with point of view can be fixed, especially when you check your work after writing. But that's granting you're good with your time. And then you spare a few minutes to check your work. Point of view is something you can correct. I always get my students to spend at least 3 to 5 minutes to check their work, be the first marker of your paper. And then, of course, you can see some point of view errors now. Like my main character is Annie, but then suddenly I said okay, I cancel, I correct it. So be careful with that. Can I do multiple perspectives on purpose? As in, what do you mean, Alyssa? I'm gonna say don't complicate it, but what do you mean by that? You explain it to me. Okay. Mm. And I think finally, my final reminder for you is number four. Number four, let's talk about there are quality QSPs. QSPs are quality composed questions wherein they ask you to talk about a certain quality, being honest. Okay, again, being honest means to say who has to be honest. It has to be your main character. Okay, as opposed to honesty. Now, question: if the QSP is honesty, must your character be honest or dishonest? What do you think? Your compo question says, write about honesty. Must your character be honest or dishonest? This is a good question, huh? Something important to think about, is it? Okay, so everyone, this is very important. So, honesty is a noun, right? Being honest, I would consider this a verb. When your compo question is being honest, you are required that your main character must be honest because it has to be honest, correct? So be very careful when some students go and say, oh, I'm going to talk about this boy who broke the vase and then he didn't say the truth. He blamed someone else for breaking the vase and then he admitted the truth in the end. That may not be very safe for the compo question being honest. A big part of your composition should be about the being honest as opposed to being dishonest because it's being honest, okay? But if it's a noun, for example, honesty, you can choose either. As long as the value of honesty is realized at the end. So this is when you can have both. Your character can be dishonest or honest, as long as at the end of it, it's still being realized and the value is still there at the very end. So when it's a noun, you have the choice, especially for qualities, you have the choice to either give the positive or the negative, but then ultimately in the end, the value should be realized. But it says being, right? Being embarrassed, being honest, being good, it has to be that. Okay, it has to be honest. The character must be good. The character must be embarrassed. Okay, are we clear with that? Later can zoom out. Let me SS. Okay, sure. So these are some important unpacking questions that I want you to, think about. Always spend some time so you don't end up writing something off the topic. Is this good enough, Alyssa? Can you take a screenshot of it now before I move on? I'm gonna jump to pictures and in the last 5 minutes. Okay, done, huh? Yes, thank you. Okay, now I am not done fully yet with this one, but I'll give you a few more suggestions in the next couple of live. Okay, let's talk about pictures. Okay. Let's talk about pictures. So normally you're given 3 pictures, of course. Now, question for everyone. Do you choose all 3 pictures? And can you choose all 3 pictures? How many must you choose? Normally, how many do you choose for your pictures? Type it in. Choose 1 is better. I see. Who else? Cat lover, just 1. I see. Okay, so just Wushu says 2. Okay, now I see. Okay, so here's something, the instruction is you can choose 1, 2, or all, right? So you definitely have the choice to choose 1, 2, or all. Do keep in mind, when examiners, when they actually crafted the pictures were chosen such that they try to cater to very different types of writers, okay? Different types of writers who may angle the story differently based on the compo question. So normally it's very random and it may be very hard to use all three. Okay. So what I always tell my students is, number one, if you can, right, choose one and use it many times. Mhm. How can I use it many times, teacher? You have to make sure that picture plays an important role in the story. Okay. And when I say many times, it has to be in 3 paras or more. Okay. Just to make sure that you have really chosen a picture that plays a huge role in your composition. Okay. Now, teacher, can I choose 2 pictures? You can, if you are really struggling with one and use many times. But of course, like, if you choose one photo and one picture and you struggle a bit, that's a bit of a red flag, because that means to say it may not be a photo that will play a good and an essential role in the story. But should you decide to use 2, I will need you to have at least you have to have at least 2 descriptions for each picture that you chose. Okay, that means to say you gotta force yourself to write a picture description of those 2 pictures at least twice in your composition spread all throughout your story. Never ever do it that you only ever use and describe your chosen picture once, twice, and thrice, but all in one single paragraph. No, that is very dangerous. The safest way to go is to make sure you choose a picture that you can basically use in more than 2 paragraphs in your composition. Many times you got assurance to not go off topic, correct? And teacher, how do I wrap this up? How do I make sure, teacher, that I have chosen the right story and that I have understood my composition question correctly? The best way to assure that without having to rewrite your story because you realize in the middle of it you haven't actually chosen a good picture or you have not written a good plot for it, the best thing you can do is to always plan. And one of the most important reasons why you should plan your composition and even your essay for secondary students is that this very rough structure of your composition before writing it should tell you beforehand if you are able to use your picture more than 2 paragraphs in your work, and if you can use your composition question keywords in more than 3 paragraphs of your composition. You should see it right from your planning if that's even possible. When you can assure that, for example, oh, a competition, then you see your plan, right? Oh, competition, I can mention it here, 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 because the competition happens in 3 or 4 or 5 paragraphs. And then my chosen picture is trophy. Oh, I can mention it in paragraph 1 because I saw the trophy. Paragraph 3 or 4 because I thought about the trophy. And then in the last paragraph when I was holding on to the trophy, okay, Ken, I'm good to go. I can start writing this composition, bearing in mind that I'm not going off the topic, and then I can use my picture many times. And that's how you can peacefully write your composition without having the anxiety of going off the topic. Ken? And that's it for today, huh? Alyssa, all the best on your examination tomorrow. Please make sure you do your pre-writing process properly. And let us know what happens now. When we're back with the live, update us on how was it. Even share your composition question with everyone. It's a very good habit to share it so you can all practice together. Okay? I'll give you a few more examination tips. To those of you who are secondary students, we may actually also go through some pre-writing tips with you on how to unpack your essay questions. What are the keywords you can look out for to know what essay type are you dealing with? Nonetheless, if you want to continue revising with us when we don't have a live, please visit our YouTube channel. Quite a lot of our videos and tips and tricks are shared there. Okay, everyone? All right, thank you all for coming today. Happy that you all came here. I'll see you again on Friday. Bye-bye.